Hey guys, I wanted to share with you exactly the system that my money flows through every single paycheck so you can see how this is kind of mapped out and maybe copy this thing for yourself or create your own variation. But in Atomic Habits, we fall to the level of our systems, not the level of our discipline. So if you want to be better financially, you need to have systems, because if you don't have systems set up, you have more money to spend. And once you have that more money to spend, you spend it. Okay. So let's get right into it. So you go to a job. I go to my job. I get a W-2. So obviously our taxes comes out. So that's the first thing. The government, Uncle Sam gets his stuff. But once I get my taxes taken out, it actually splits four ways right off the bat. These are four completely separate accounts, and this is how I have it split, okay? I have a big chunk that goes into bills and spending, and this is like any type of bills or spending account, okay? So if you got to make a utility payment, phone payment, rent, car payment, anything like that, that goes in there. And this is also food, gas, enjoyment purposes, all of that that is all tied into this one account. And this account, generally, I'm going to live close to paycheck in this account, specifically, and you'll see how this is routed. But basically, that account lives paycheck to paycheck because this is a cash flow system. This is not saving a bunch of money into one account, okay? So this is just my mindset, and this is literally what I do, okay? So this account lives pretty much paycheck to paycheck. Now, I always have a percentage going into the 401k, Roth, IRA, employment retirement plan, okay? So this is our long-term stability that we have set up. So I have a small portion going in here, and the main reason why I have this is I just have a portion enough to get that company matching, because that's free money. If you put 4% and they match with an additional 2%, that is free money, okay? That is free money. You might as well take advantage of that. That's my mindset. Free money. I'm getting free money, okay? So I have enough to put in the 401k Roth to get that match, okay? So that's one account that, if all else fails, this one stays for retirement, okay? So you just have that little bit of safety cushion, okay? I also utilize the company direct stock purchase plan, okay? So a percent, not a percentage, a fixed amount. So this one's a percentage, this one's a fixed amount. And every time I get a raise, I just bump this amount up in congruent with my raise, okay? So this is the direct stock purchase plan. I work for a company that I believe in for their long-term future growth, and they offer a direct stock purchase plan. So I put a small percentage into the direct stock purchase plan. And then I also have an emergency fund, which is in a separate bank account, in a separate bank than this one, okay? So they do not get confused. This is for emergency. If something comes up that for some reason the bills and spending account was unable to pay for, this is sitting with capital inside of it, ready to go as a buffer zone, unexpected car repair, things like that. Okay, that's the emergency fund cushion. Once again, this lives paycheck to paycheck, but I have the cushion. This is another cushion that I could pull out of. This is a cushion that you don't want to touch, but these two can be pulled out of. This can be pulled out immediately. This can be pulled out liquid. The liquidity is moderately liquid. You can pull it out in a couple days or a week if needed. And then, like I said, I live paycheck to paycheck, but let's just say I worked more overtime or something like that, or came up to, for some reason, got more income than expected, I actually route every single month, every single week. I have a regular investment that goes into just an Acorns account, which, if you've ever heard of that app, it's just, you can set up a recurring payment, recurring investment. They invest it for you. And then they also will take, anytime you swipe your debit card, you can actually, they round up for you, and they invest that extra money in $5 increments. Okay, so I have, let's just say, a small portion here that is automatic. It doesn't come directly out of the paycheck. It actually flows through this account, and I treat it as one of my bills, but it's really an investment. And then, so that's going to be a small portion. And then I have like a Charles Schwab account that I use, and this is just leftover money that I'm using to create like a dividend income portfolio. And so as long as I have extra cash flow coming into this one, then extra cash flow gets routed into Schwab. So I'm still living in paycheck to paycheck, because this is treated as a liability, like a capital expenditure, but it's really an investment or saving account still. And then I treat every once in a while, if I just have a little bit and it's really not going to be much, I may put a little bit into crypto, but that's already after these two take the top priority. So I'm going to put chunks into this, and maybe small chunks into that. Nothing substantial, but just a little bit. And those accounts sit. So this is just how I have my life flowing. Maybe you could copy this, but this has worked really well for me, because while this stays the same and you live paycheck to paycheck out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts constantly grow every single week. Every single week, 6 accounts constantly grow. And we could call this savings. But I really just call it an emergency fund, because I'm going to route a majority of the extra into here, actually. So this is actually where more of the money sits, because I'm working on building an asset that cash flows, that has more and more income. And then what's kind of funny about this one here is this one has like a revolving financial money is generated here, and it is revolved and reinvested. So even if I don't put any money in there, this is actually generating income itself. So that's just how I have my life set up. I was just hoping that maybe somebody could copy this, or just get some mindset, because what I used to do is job, taxes, all of it goes into bills and spending, and I didn't have any of these other accounts actually, and it just didn't really work out very well, because now we're spending. It's categorized for bills and spending. It's super easy to spend. Now I can't, like, all the money that's sitting in, and this one's relatively liquid, but the money that's sitting in these, I can't make an impulse purchase, because it takes a couple days for the money to go back to the bills and spending account. So it's what it basically did was I increased the barrier to entry for spending this money. It's harder to spend all of this money, so you can't touch it, okay? And it just helps you be disciplined because of the system that you have set up. So this is just how I have my life set up, my financial thing. And I just hope that this encourages someone, or helps you to think about how you're routing your money differently, and how you have your systems. And once you have a nice system, you can you can feel pretty good about your net worth situation, because your system took care of everything for you.